Hi, I'm Reese.
And I'm Caden.
And welcome back to this week's broadcast.
Have you heard about the new permanent sub for the year?
Yes, I actually have him in a couple of classes. He's really cool.
Let's go see how he became a sub here at Northwest.
They're the first married couple to do it.
Recently joining the English department is long-term sub Mr. Joel Shafer.
I started teaching, substitute teaching, about 10 years ago. So I have taught at Northwest and St. Laborie. I've done a little bit in a few of the Grand Island public schools and also St. Paul. Some of my favorite things to teach would be math, sciences. Actually, I don't mind the social studies, social sciences either. Right now I'm currently subbing for Mr. Witt for senior English and also American literature.
We picked Mr. Shafer because Mr. Shafer is very familiar with our student body just from subbing in the past. We know that he gets along really well with students, and Mr. Shafer looked at this as an opportunity to give back to our school as well, and he was excited at the opportunity. Yeah, if you don't have a great long-term sub in the room, it can really be a detriment to the students and their ability to learn what they need to learn. Mr. Shafer's done an outstanding job. He meets with our English teachers a lot to discuss what needs to be taught, how it needs to be taught through PLC time, and then outside of PLC time. The whole English department has done a tremendous job of helping him through this process, and he's worked really hard himself to make sure the students are getting a great educational opportunity.
Probably my biggest struggles was probably getting used to having to be inside a building all day. I was really used to being outside and out moving around a lot, so that's probably my biggest struggle. I enjoy not so much the content, but being able to have discussions with the kids and get different people's outlooks and opinions on things.
Just like with any staff member that leaves, whether it's out of retirement or moving to a different town because they're getting married, whatever it may be, we put the job posting out on the internet, and we also go to career fairs and people apply for the positions, and then as we get enough applications, we look through them, and we usually interview the top 3 or 4 applicants out of the job pool that we have and hire the best candidate.
Thanks to all the subs of Northwest for their hard work in educating the kids.
We're sitting at the table talking to Nick.
He seems like a really nice teacher.
Speaking of teachers, what do you think about La Rosa?
He seems like a quality teacher.
Ah, I see what you did there.
Things are heating up in the chem lab.
This is our lab, qualitative analysis. It's going to be our test for at the end of our unit on reactions and types of reactions. And so the kids will be given an unknown compound, and they'll have to perform a series of tests to try and identify what that unknown is.
Working in the lab improves my learning in chemistry because it shows us firsthand what these experiences are supposed to be like and what we're supposed to see, and helps us understand chemistry better. My
background was a field endorsement in chemistry, to where I took a series of undergraduate level classes: organic chemistry, inorganic, physical chemistry, analytical chemistry, and biochemistry, and that background gave me enough to work with for high school chemistry to open the field of chemistry to kids who may have no idea that they might be interested in it.
My favorite part about the lab is probably hanging with friends and being close to them and playing with fire.
What I do to help motivate kids in the lab or in chemistry in general is try and make it relatable to them. If we're talking about polyatomic ions, here are where they appear in the world around you. We'll read food labels and see where those things pop up. We can read soap labels and say, hey, sometimes if you get dry skin, well, this soap has a sulfate in it, and that will typically dry out your skin. Just trying to connect chemistry to the world around the kids and make them more aware of what goes on around them is one way.
My experience with lab techniques and instruments has been pretty okay so far. La Rosa is a good teacher.
We have a series of labs that we'll do at the beginning of the year that just kind of highlight general lab practices and procedures. Walk in, put your goggles on, here's how you handle hot and cold types of glassware, here's how you handle various types of chemicals. It is considered a hazardous chemical. Here's where you dispose of it. If not, everything can be dumped down the sink.
What I did for preparation for the lab experience is put on goggles, because safety first. We put our hair up. We also did packets and filled those out during the lab.
Lab setting is usually the end result after what we talk about in lecture. We'll introduce a concept in the classroom, talk about it, solve a couple of practice problems, and then we'll do a lab on it where we actually get to physically see what happens whenever we're exploring some sort of chemical phenomena.
You can find the students in the chem lab as things starts to cool down.
I loved qual. You know what else I love?
What?
IBA.
Can I join your IBA team?
We'll see about that.
Intramural basketball has begun and will continue through March.
IBA is basically a bunch of guys getting together and just having fun, playing some basketball. A little bit competitive, but just having fun.
For people that are not in a winter sport and want to, kind of still do something, but it's not like a formal sport.
We don't really have practices. We'll just have group chats and get our team together and go to like the Y and scrimmage other teams.
Honestly, my team just kind of hasn't really done anything. We've just kind of been a team and wait to play.
Games take place in the morning. About 5 people on each team is what we scrimmage. And then we have a couple subs. Just get together, and then once he says go, we just go straight for it.
Well, most games work is we get 2 20-minute halves. They take place at 7 in the morning on Mondays and Fridays.
Playing on an actual basketball team, you have coaches and it's more professional, but playing on IBA, you mainly just are here to have fun, maybe keep score.
When I played basketball, obviously, there's going to be practice every day. You're going to travel everywhere. The games are going to, go towards something.
Teams get picked by a draft. All team captains, which are all seniors, go to Mr. Kane's room.
And then they go through all the people who are going to play and then pick the teams that way.
My goals for this season is to basically come out first. We might take a loss today, but we'll get it next time.
Last year, my team didn't lose and we won the whole thing, so probably to do that again.
The difference between captain and player are basically I'm the one that lets everyone know to be here on time. If people don't show up, then we don't have subs and then we're running the whole time. But basically get us hyped and have some fun playing basketball.
Stay tuned for more information on the championship to come later this semester.
Wow, that looks like a lot of fun.
There are a lot of fun activities at our school.
Like FCA?
Yeah. How about we go look into one of their meetings?
FCA has been meeting on Wednesdays this school year.
FCA is Fellowship of Christian Athletes.
We meet Wednesdays and sometimes during the weekend to talk about Jesus Christ and how we can use His Word.
I am a leader and I have been for like a year now, and we just set up all the meetings and all the random events throughout the year.
I'm a leader in FCA, so we teach the lessons some of the times. What I like about FCA is hanging out with friends and reading the Lord's words and using that in my daily life, especially in sports.
I like the bonds that it brings together. You find people with like the same values and beliefs and try and get the whole school to participate in something good.
FCA events are held in the morning of almost every Wednesday or first Wednesday of the month. We usually have like Easter, just bigger events that are on the weekend and are just a lot more fun that we do activities with.
I recommend it because we have a lot of fun. Every meeting we always get food, and for like the special events meetings we do like games and we order pizza or something like that.
My favorite event that I've been to is probably the dodgeball tournament. It usually gets pretty hype and everything, and it's just really fun.
My favorite event that I've been a part of is probably the pumpkin patch this year. We just all played with all the games and no one else was there, so we had the entire pumpkin patch to ourselves. Just got to have a whole lot of fun as a group.
The next FCA event is February 22nd.
That's all we got for this week's broadcast.
I'm Caden.
And I'm Reese. See you next time.